Hello everybody. Welcome back to my workshop and welcome back to my garage. In this episode on the Pango Flying V, we're going to be working on final sanding. As a reminder, this is a sponsored video by Pango Music. They did send me the kit to build and do the review on, so thank you very much to them. There is a link down in my description below. It's an affiliate link that'll send you to the Pango Music website. If you use the affiliate link below to make a purchase, you will get a discount on that, and a little bit of money comes back to me to help the channel. So please check that out if it's something that you're interested in. The good thing about this guitar is it's going to sand probably very quickly because it's a lot of flat surfaces, solid flat surface on the front, back. I can use my Randall orbital sander on those, as well as the flats on the sides and in here. On the neck and in these curved areas here at the neck and also at the base of the V, I will have to sand by hand, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some 120, then I'll follow up with some 220, and then finally some 320. After I get the full sanding done, then I'm going to wet the surface to let that grain pop back out, and then I can go back over and do another 320 sand on it just to get everything smooth after that. I am going to use an oil-based finish on this. It's going to be natural. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pan down. We'll get the sander going and start sanding this body. And then it's always a good idea to keep a few erasers around. What I do with these is it's very good for using it in these corners and things like that because the rubber is a little bit flexible on the eraser and it allows you to get into those areas to get that sanding done. And it allows you to get these corners and everything like that in there. This body was in real good shape coming from the factory, just the kit. While it was rough, there's not a lot of tooling marks on it, so that's good. So all the tooling that was done on it, the CNC of cutting out the body and stuff, went really well. So it's not going to be a lot to get it into the shape that we need it to be in as far as finish goes, or as far as the sanding goes. Here's where these erasers really come in handy with that, because it allows you to still have a relatively flat surface to sand with, but it is flexible enough that you can go around the corners. Well, I know you don't want to watch me sand this whole thing, so I'm going to go ahead and just start doing some sanding off camera, and I'll bring you back when I'm closer to the end. Remember, I am going to be going through grits. Right now I'm on 120. I am going to go up to 220 and then 320. So I'll bring you back a little bit later in the process once we're closer to the finishing. All right, so I've got this thing sanded down to 320. Took about an hour or so to get it all sanded, but it's down to 320 now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a wet cloth and I'm going to just wet the wood a little bit, and that's going to allow that grain to pop back up. It's also going to give us an idea of what this is going to look like once I put the clear finish on it, the oil finish. And that actually looks really nice. It's a nice look to the wood. Also, wetting it is going to shine it up a little bit so I can see if there's any scratches still there that I might need to sand out later. You notice I'm not soaking the wood, I'm just getting it a little bit wet. I did blow it off with an air compressor to get all the sawdust out of the pores of the wood, out of the grain. Because like I said, I'm going to go through this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sand it back to 320 tomorrow. This is going to dry overnight. And that's going to let all that fiber pop back up on that wood. You can actually feel the difference. Even with it wet, it's already popping up immediately. So this is going to dry and shrink back, and then I'll sand it again to 320 and get any problem areas that might need to still be hit with whether it be a little bit of grain, a filler or whatever, to fill a couple voids that I found in it as well, that I just don't want to have to worry about filling with the grain fill. So I'll do a little bit of filling before. That neck looks really nice as well, that mahogany on that neck. That's got a good look to it. So that looks good. We're gonna let this dry for 24 hours. I just let it dry overnight. That way it's, I know there's no issue with moisture still in the wood. We'll do the final sand on it after this dries. So this is dry now. It's been a day since I put the water on it and raised the grain. So now what it's time to do is go ahead and level sand this again, or sand this again up to 320. And that's all I'm gonna be using is 320 on it, as I don't need to go through the other grits to remove scratches or anything, because I already had that pretty much done before I wetted the surface of the guitar. But I don't know if you can hear this, but you can hear that grain, feel how it's raised up, compared to, say, this area right here by the binding, where it's not raised up. All right, we've got it all sanded down now to 320. See if you can hear the difference now. When I rub the neck, it's not rough anymore. It's nice and smooth, and you can actually hear the difference when I rub the neck and rub the body. I'm not getting that kind of raspy sound as it was going over the fibers of wood that came out. So what we're getting ready to do now is we're going to go ahead and clean it off with some naphtha. That'll give us a pretty good understanding of what it's going to look like. I've went ahead and blown out all the pores and blown out everything dust-wise. So we're going to hit it with some naphtha just to get it clean and get ready for our beginning steps of finish. So once we get this thing all wiped down, we'll let it dry, and then it'll be ready to start applying the oil finish. I've decided not to do any grain fill on it, as I kind of want that open grain look and feel on the guitar. It does feel really nice. The neck feels really good. There will be some pores visible, and that's exactly kind of what I'm looking for on this. So let's go ahead and get it cleaned up with some naphtha and see what it's going to look like. Yeah, that mahogany is going to have a nice color once we start hitting it with the oil. So that's going to give you a better idea what it's going to look like with some oil on it. That mahogany's darkening up really nice. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. We got quite a bit done on the guitar. Really happy with the progress that we've made so far. Please, if you like what I'm doing, click like, click subscribe, follow along with this build, as well as maybe taking a look at some of my other builds, whether it be pickup builds, scratch guitar builds, or pedal builds. There was also a couple other Pango reviews in my history as well to take a look at. So please, I invite you to go back and take a look at that. Remember, there is an affiliate link below in the description to go to the Pango site, where you can get a discount if you're purchasing a Pango kit. That helps you out a little bit, plus a little bit comes back to me, so it helps me support the channel. Until next time, thank you very much for stopping by the channel, and take care.